Did you like it? So it's been 11 hours playing.
Welcome, dear readers, to Cover My Ass, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours trulies. My name is Khaki.
And I'm Kay, and remember, we only judge a book by its cover.
And we find ourselves once more amid the towering stacks of your library. I believe it's my 16th week here now. I'm going proper native. I'm as comfortable on the ground as I am in the sky once more. Still no sign of the gnomes that you mentioned previously.
No, you don't see the gnomes.
No, I don't see the gnomes, nor increasingly do I see color. Like this diet of bookworms, as much as it's nourishing me, and I do feel like I'm growing stronger, but I'm just having trouble making out.
Well, I brought you the soy sauce, and I brought you the mirin, and I even brought you a bag of bamboo skewers, because don't think that I haven't noticed you shaving off my hardwood bookshelves to make little bookworm skewers from.
Yeah, well, Guinevere needs to sharpen her beak.
I'll try to see if I can bring one of those cuttlefish shells.
Yeah, one of those cuttlefish shells.
Yes,
yes. Or a crab shell. We have some of those lying around.
You found crabs?
I went to the doctor for them, but...
Oh, right. I thought they might have been crawling up the stream again.
No. You said there weren't any salmon at the water cooler. There can't be crabs as well.
Yeah, exactly. There's no crabs at the water cooler. Or salmon.
Hold on. You're making... Why are you winking at me?
I'm not winking at you.
No, ladies and gentlemen, you can audibly hear him winking at me.
Winking. You mentioned going colorblind?
Yeah. You don't think
it's probably salt deficiency. The soy sauce should take care of that.
Yes, well, and once again, you talked about repeatedly grilling and dipping the bookworms. This is after the lead core has been removed, which I feed to Guinevere. She enjoys them very much. She has such lovely feathers, and I'm just bummed that I can't see them. They're so spectacular when she dances in the light.
Well, you taught her how to dance?
She does little display prances when she's happy, when she's just eaten. Yeah,
seems like you have a good deal going here. She herds them up, you catch them, and then share the rich bounty.
I'm the bait. So I go stomping about, and I just have to steel myself as these creatures go burrowing at me at really terrible speed, and I just close my eyes, and then she takes care of them. Like, she hasn't missed one yet.
No.
As you can tell by the fact that I'm here.
Yeah, there's no holes in you yet.
No more than usual.
No, well, all the 7 usual ones that humans have.
Wait. No, everybody wait. Let me work it out.
I suppose 8.
Maybe. No, that's worse. No, you're counting the wrong way.
Well, do you count the nose as 1 or 2?
Look, we're tubes, right?
Yes.
So, then the
mouth and the other end of the digestive system, but the nose connects up to the mouth, so that's the 3rd one. And then there's like 2 nostrils, and you count those separately. And
you do connect.
Ears are definitely holes in the body, except, well...
No, they're not, though. They're sealed off.
I suppose, yes. Eyes, however.
Also sealed.
Depends on how you count sealed.
As in, if
well, you've got the I was going to say fallopian tubes, but they're somewhere else. They're somewhere else. Eustachian tubes. That's the one that was meant.
Those are still in your ears. You mean tear ducts?
I thought they had
the Eustachian tubes. Yeah, they're
in yours. So yeah, the tear ducts, the thing that's run from your. Have you never had it when you blow really hard your nose, you get this out of your eye?
No, but my aunt can do that on and she can also raise her tongue and then squirt saliva out of a salivary gland.
Wow.
She
related to those little things from Jurassic Park. You know, she has that collar that stands up straight, and then she goes. I hope that Guinevere one day maybe she's going to grow a frill. She's a Velociraptor.
Velociraptor, yes. Well, I've never seen one before. You mentioned that they were pests that they've invaded before.
Well, this one seems to be very friendly. So as long as she's
we get on. So what do we have in store for our readers at home this week?
This week's book is by Murray Leinster. It's called City on the Moon, and it is another 40s, 50s classic.
Yeah, that 50s futurist chic. And for the readers at home, if you look on your podcasting device right now, you should be seeing the cover of today's book. And if not, check the show notes for an image and a link, because it is a doozy. We have a lunar landscape. Now,
yes.
It is a bit pink.
It is I think that's due to the 4-color or 3-color printing technique that is used for the cover.
That does make sense.
You would definitely say that it's Mars, and it's not the grey lunar landscape that you would expect. But I think it seems to be only printed in red and blue, and black.
Oh, I
see. I think
yeah.
that's due to the printing process. The spacesuit that our intrepid hero is wearing.
Donald Atticus.
Yes, that's the one. It looks more like something that you would expect Jacques Cousteau to be wearing. It's a spandex bodysuit with like a fishbowl helmet, which sounds really dangerous. Like you knock your head on something and
all that glass. I think in many of these fictions, the idea is that this material is so strong that there really isn't any reason to use a non-transparent material, transparent aluminum.
Okay.
That is not the case in this story, though. It is straight up glass, and it is fragile.
Oh, absolutely. And also, why would you put like glass behind your head? I mean, it's not like you can. Well, I suppose you can turn your head far enough. It seems like wasteful to have that much glass.
I think it's a pretty strong fashion statement. As you mentioned, it's a very fanciful costume. It's very show-off. It's very body-fitting, and yes. I think our hero Donald Atticus just kind of wants to show off his haircut
from the Ginger Club. Yes, absolutely.
Is that in your notes?
I can make it into my notes. Give me a pen.
Good Lord.
Ginger Club. There we go. Now it's official. True to the title, they built a city on the moon. We're just going to put a factory on the moon here. Yeah. We're going to build a dome over it. And not only just because a factory obviously needs chimneys, so we're just going to run them right outside the outside of the dome.
At least for the big one, look at the smaller one in the foreground and the one beside it. Like they're inside the dome. They're heavily polluting their own precious atmosphere.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one is the more stupid design: the chimney leading out of the dome or the chimney opening up inside the dome. They are both not particularly good examples of.
No, especially like one entirely fails to seal, which is the whole idea of a dome, and the other one just pollutes the air that it's supposed to keep inside.
It seems a bit odd, to say the least. But yeah, city, factory, ginger, moon factories.
Do you have a conclusion to that sentence? Were you just listing all the things that we've read so far and just hoping that a conclusion would draw?
Yeah, I was going to mention something about the Hergé-esque space rocket in the background.
Yeah, we've seen those rockets before in Iparia dell'Atomo, which is like episode 6. Oh, I think it actually is episode 6.
Oh, very good.
Good on me. Are you cheating?
Well, I was going to, yes. And you were right about episode 6, by the way. It was episode 6. The city on the moon, of course, is New Peculiar.
Yes.
One of the famous cities of the moon.
The new lunar city.
Yes. It's one of the latest ones. It was built in Mare Neversink.
It's on our moon, right?
Yeah, it might be like the secrets of the Martian moons. Oh, no, that was last week's.
Oh, very good. Excellent callback.
The secret of the Martian moons. That was the one. That wasn't last week's. It was a few weeks ago.
We have to be kind of understanding of these limitations of imagination, because it wasn't so much that a new city on the moon was being built. New Peculiar wasn't manufactured on the moon. It was transported. It was the first example of city transport. So they already had all of these buildings. They already had the infrastructure. All of it just needed to be transported. In some cases, brick by brick. In some cases, whole cloth, including whatever it was founded upon.
Especially the dome. Bringing over that dome in one piece. I mean, that's an impressive scene, how that thing is first launched out of Earth orbit. I think by Project Orion-type rockets, which just blast the thing up from the ground. So they basically set off a nuclear blast underneath a sufficiently strong dome, just shooting into orbit in one go.
Wouldn't it be much easier to do it locally? I mean, you've got lunar regolith. I understand that it has certain chemical properties.
Yes, what about the lunar regolith?
I hope that everybody really enjoys the audio quality of this episode.
They're clearly not bothered by pollution, as by the smokestacks in the dome.
Yeah, these must be very clean factories.
Why the hell do you need a smokestack then?
Okay, give me a second. I'm sure I'll figure out something hilarious.
Maybe that's how they burn, like they burn oxygen and hydrogen to create energy in the domes.
No, but you do that with methane, don't you? Oh, that was the idea with Titan, like colonizing Titan, where you could have
Oh, right, yes, but that's because there's plenty of methane there, and you just burn it off.
You can use that to produce water, and you can electrolyze the water into oxygen.
You kind of need oxygen to burn the methane in the first place.
I think it worked out energy positive, water positive, and methane negative, of course. But so on the moon, they don't have those options. I mean, presuming that it is them. And like in the whole book. Oh yeah, let's talk about the book that we've read.
Yes.
In the whole book, they just talk about it like the moon, and it is a rival economic power to the Earth.
Yes.
There's a great deal of brinksmanship and show-offishness. Like,
well, it's the classic colony trying to separate off from
the motherland.
From the motherland and becoming
and
a
show off
power.
that it's much better here.
Becoming a power in its own, and it's like, we're doing all the work, why should they get all the profit?
That's why Donald Atticus is there as a journalist.
Yes.
Sent from Earth in his heroic red spacesuit to report on the progress of this breakaway colony,
survey how they are doing, and yes,
the new state of Space Colorado, whose capital city is New Peculiar in Mare Neversink. Why did they pick Mare Neversink and not like Shackleton? I thought the Shackleton crater is where the most plausible notions of like a domed city on the moon are currently.
Isn't that the way?
Am I talking bullshit?
I don't know. I never heard the name before.
Well, and I don't recommend that anybody else should do this, and I certainly didn't do it, but it came up in the book. It was in the footnotes of the book. That's right. As I'm saying it, I'm just remembering that it was in footnotes of the book.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, and maybe it happens that if you Google moon dome, you wind up with the Shackleton crater and the proposed.
No, I don't read a lot of footnotes that haven't been written by Terry Pratchett.
Do you know, I once bought a stage script version of one of his books. I think it was Guard. Oh, I still have it somewhere.
Okay.
And what was really cool about it, so it had Vimes and it had the Night's Watch, and it had a whole bunch of characters, including suggestions for which characters could be combined for smaller theatre groups.
Oh yeah, so you can have one role.
No, to have multiple roles played by the same person.
Okay.
And it was also written so that they definitely wouldn't share scenes, but their appearances would also be spaced so that you could have costume changes in between. Like, it was very practical.
Yeah.
And Footnote was a character, and it was the costume was recommended that they should wear a hat with an asterisk on it, and they would pop in every now and again.
Wander on stage, give a little monologue about what's going on, and
just pause the action, address the audience, and explain something humorously.
Sounds like a very Pratchett-esque thing to do. Donald Atticus, who is clearly
the journalist.
The journalist.
As we were extremely critical of the chimneys in the domes, he's extremely critical of the pollution, and despite the local dignitaries' attempts to impress him and show off, much in the way that the Soviet Union, in as much as it permitted foreign visitors and journalists whenever they were permitted to.
Are you thinking more of a Potemkin Village?
Now, Potemkin Village, you were referring to...
Little showcase village, which was the way that Soviet life was supposed to be, rather than it actually...
like it was a model town.
Yeah, it was a model town. It's put up to show, like, see how good we are doing. This is the good life. And it was especially a showcase. It was not economically feasible at all.
Like Pripyat, the village outside of Chernobyl, which was also a model town that was shown off to foreign dignitaries and was extremely well supplied compared to the rest of the Soviet Empire.
Yeah, but they were like working on the nuclear reactors and on the over-the-horizon radar there.
The nuclear reactors at Chernobyl were some of the most advanced technology on the planet. So the Soviet Empire, such as it was, sent its best and brightest there to staff it. And you had all of these like young, bright families. I visited it, and of course I was struck by the urban decay and by it sort of looked like a video game.
It's not been used since the 80s.
The thing that I was struck with most was imagining what it was like for the people who inhabited it, because there must have been young people who lived there in relative luxury, like well-stocked supermarkets and the like, believing genuinely that this is what Soviet life was like.
Right, because we have it here, and this, especially the kids, they probably didn't know any better.
No, exactly.
Like they were told that this is the Soviet life, and this is what they see every day. Then
fascinating stories there. But the fascinating story of today is City on the Moon. Okay, so we have Donald Atticus, the journalist, who is being led around the successful industrialized portion of New Peculiar. The capital city of Space Colorado in Mare Neversink. But of course he's interested in the real truth. He doesn't just want to see the varnished, gilded cage.
He wants to see the real thing. He sneaks out.
I see you fondling those notes.
I'm always fondling my notes. So he makes his way out of New Peculiar. He sneaks off to Mare Nimrod.
Mare Nimrod. Now, for our readers at home, Mare is, of course, Latin for sea, which is what most of these craters on the moon are.
Yes, they're all called Mare this or Mare that. The sea of Tranquility, where the Apollo 11 was the first one to land.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Hence Tranquility Base.
Oh, yeah, very good. Was there any significance to Nimrod?
It's a famous bit.
Hunter.
Most people these days think that Nimrod means idiot, due to a Bugs Bunny cartoon where Bugs Bunny sarcastically calls Elmer Fudd, "Hey Nimrod."
Oh my God.
And everybody just thought he was insulting him because nobody knew who Nimrod was. So that's how Nimrod became a bit of an insult, calling someone an idiot.
God, that's terrible.
So Bugs Bunny cartoon is single-handedly responsible for the complete changing of the...
Good thing he didn't call him Ahab.
Having snuck off to Mare Nimrod,
he shook off his retinue.
Yes, managed to sneak off, get on a lunar buggy and zoom across the plains heading over the crater rim.
A big plume of regolith behind him.
Driving off and see the next city over. It's kind of glossed over how he gets through the airlocks and everything and into the city without anybody asking, like, "Oi mate, who are you?"
A very good Ukrainian accent there, because Mare Nimrod is, of course, in space Ukraine.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what the Ukrainians are. Makes me wonder why Mr. Murray put a main character there to meet who's called Peter Wellingcroft, which doesn't sound like a particular Ukrainian name to me.
The Ukrainians are a very cosmopolitan bunch.
Mr. Wellingcroft.
No, it's Señor Wellingcroft.
Señor, because that's like, yes, Ukrainians are renowned for the Spanish. I used to have a Ukrainian colleague. He's like, "No, that's stupid idea." Like, sure, you can do it like that if you want to do it stupid.
If you want to do it. It's a fantastic attitude. I sort of, I really appreciated that in this portion of the moon, in Mr. What did we say? Leinster's book, that you had Space Colorado and Space Ukraine as neighbors. And yes, they bicker a little bit, but they have a lot in common. They're very outdoorsy people. They're very fit and direct.
They both hate Russians.
Is that so? Oh, yeah. Wasn't it like Red Dawn? Wasn't that set in Colorado?
Red Dawn? I don't think I've seen.
With the Wolverines? Oh,
I'm familiar with that one.
It was this 80s... Oh, I think I know of it. I actually may have never seen it. But it was a movie where the Russians invade America and these kids see...
basically every prepper's fantasy, basically.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See the Soviets airdropping in and they start a little teenage insurgency as the Wolverines.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, have you read the Dutch young adult teen novel Sniff the Hond? Which is...
Sniff the... Sniff the dog.
It takes place during World War II, and it's a boy and his German Shepherd dog in the countryside during German occupation.
Part of La Résistance.
Well, kind of. It's like small-time, low-level stuff, which is interesting for boys in the 8 to 12 range to read.
Pastoral adventures.
Range. Yes, exactly. Set in German-occupied Netherlands during the war. And it's like, I guess it's a similar kind of...
a way for, parents and grandparents to explain their experience.
Little happy hero worship and look at the exciting thing against the bad invaders. And
who still invade our beaches and dig holes in them and put their towels down over the good chairs.
No, that's Benidorm.
Oh, yes, that's right. Is there a space Benidorm? What would
yes, there is. There is, in fact, a space Benidorm.
No, you don't. You do not have a note that says space Benidorm.
I do not, but it's located in Mare Pocahontas, which is run by Bête Noire.
Bête Noire. Yes. Oh, I get it. It's a good thing that the book doesn't spend a lot of time there.
No.
So
we were still dealing with Mr. Wellingcroft.
Yes, who is a member of the Glassblowers Guild, who are, of course, the driving economic force on the moon.
Well, yes, because they export these beautiful glass goblets, which weigh only a sixth of what they would weigh on Earth. And they've actually managed to turn this into a interesting export product. And people on Earth go like, "Oh, it's from the moon. Gravity's only 1/6 of what it's." They are fantastic.
And the high uranium content that makes them look so cool. Have you heard about uranium glass?
Oh, it's fantastic. The beautiful green.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
And you put it on UV, and apparently it's perfectly safe.
Yeah,
apparently
nothing wrong with it. No.
Well, not perfectly, obviously, but
no more than uranium ore.
Or concrete. Do you know that concrete's pretty radioactive?
If you name 4 very radioactive things, I wouldn't have listed concrete. But
name 4 not very radioactive things that everybody...
Bananas are very radioactive.
The thing with the Glassblowers Guild, aside from making trinkets out of, lunar uranium, they're in the process of developing glass-blowing technology that allows them to blow their own domes. Thereby solidifying their economic independence from Earth.
Yes.
And becoming full breakaway states so that it's not just Space Colorado and Space Ukraine, it's going to be Colorado 2.
Oh, maybe that's how the chimneys work. They just find a crater, they just fill it up with the right mix, and they put the blowers on it, just mix it up in the entire crater full of molten glass, and you let it cool to just the right temperature, and you start pumping air into it, and it forms a bubble. And that must be how they do it. It's
Definitely, 100%
glossed over in the book.
What a good cover! Like
I just realized that must be what they're doing. It all makes sense. So what Donald is looking at right now isn't New Peculiar.
Isn't New Peculiar. In Mara Nimrod, it is their new model city where they're displaying their next generation domes.
Yes,
exclamation mark.
It's the one from the Mara Nimrod. No, the Mara Neversink was the first one. You got them confidence. Space Ukraine was in Mara Nimrod, so it is Mara Nimrod, but it's not.
I read the book, Kay.
Well, yes, we always read the books.
Yeah, we totally did.
Okay.
No, if you've got something,
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a note war.
If you've got something, hell yeah.
No, you're probably going to cut this out anyway.
If you're listening to this now,
you won't hear it. Okay, so. Mercenary Andy Gravity and his canine companion Chewborka.
Dear readers, if you're listening to this now, it means that I didn't really do a good job editing this episode. Because I'm pretty sure that if I remembered, Khaki, you should edit this episode, I probably would have made a note that I should remove these references to, and let's just say the names again, Andy Gravity and his
canine companion
Chewborka, who are responsible for, and maybe I'll leave it in now because it does tie in, which rarely happens with our notes, the sabotage.
Yes, when they're preparing for the big melt, as they call it, where they spent months moving just the right mix of lunar soil and other
Yes, because you have to get it just the right temperature, and you can't keep it in that state for very long.
You have to blow it at just the right temperature.
And you have to have it in the right spot.
So it's, of course, you can't move it. It's like not, you're going to
Do you remember which spot they picked?
It was the one in Mara Nimrod.
You don't have another one?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, come on.
Mara Aquaregia.
Mara Aquaregia? What the fuck is that? Shit! There goes our explicit rating. Oh, we made it this whole time without
without saying fuck or shit.
Without saying fuck or shit. That's right.
Well, you're allowed one F-bomb.
Yes, as we saw during the that cool thing that we saw on Twitter, where you were invited to, as a PG-13 movie, The Lord of the Rings was allowed one F-bomb per movie. So where would you put it?
Yeah.
And the example was, all right then, fuck your secrets.
Yeah. I still liked Legolas. What do you see with your fucking eyes?
My favorite, and I think I win with po-fucking-tatoes.
Well, that was a very good one. Yes.
You.
Yes.
So
anyway.
this in Mara Aquaregia. What is there a joke there that I'm not getting?
It's a very strong acid. It's a mix of hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid. And
wow, that sounds nasty.
And there's not much that doesn't dissolve in it.
Yikes! That's very brave of them to try and build their first independently blown dome there. I guess that's why.
Well, Andy
Gravity and his canine companion Chewborka.
You're making it harder on yourself to edit this out.
I tell you what, though, I kind of like Chewborka, and I'm warming up to Chewborka. I thought he was a very charming dog, like because he sort of reminded me of Dastardly and Muttley.
Yes.
Like Muttley, he barely understands what's going on, and he's just game. Well, he doesn't understand that he's on Team Baddies.
No, well, he's just having a ball.
And who's Andy Gravity sabotaging for again?
For Earth.
For Earth. Well,
remember, they don't want a space Ukraine to go independent.
Ah, that's right.
Well, of course, it turns into a big show-off where just at the right time, Andy tries to set the blowers to suck and collapse the dome. Our good hero Atticus does his lightning mental calculations, manages to prevent Andy from turning the blower to suck just to the right level, which causes the collapse at the exact rate, and the backsplash creates the first donut dome. So it's basically a ring dome around this glass pond, which would normally be filled with water, which is of course not happening on the moon. But they now have the biggest skate rink ever.
Yes, it's sort of like a half a bagel.
Exactly,
and it's so much better than just a regular dome. Because hemitorus, isn't that what you'd call it?
I suppose that would just be a good description of the.
Yeah, because I think it provides all the benefits in terms of
on the moon. You really don't need much more than just contain the pressure. I mean,
it's just one atmosphere.
If you're going to get struck,
that much.
If you get struck by a meteor, you're fucked anyway. So.
Yeah. So
sorry, that was our second F-bomb.
That's why you can build. What do they have in the Titanic?
Bulkheads,
bulkheads coming up to separate
the different sections.
So with that failed sabotage...
So we have Donald here looking out wistfully over the old domes of New Peculiar as he's making his way to the spaceship. I mean, I guess he had to find suitable outcropping to make his dramatic pose with his hands loosely clenched at his sides and going like, I will show the earth the true side of the moon, the struggle, the indignity.
And that's where the book took a turn. Do you remember how we arrived at this point and we thought, oh, that's a very satisfying ending to the book, and then there was a whole nother chunk of book left.
I thought, like, this book has a long credit section. They're doing one of those annoying things where they go like, oh, if you enjoyed this book, you might like to enjoy the first 3 chapters of this other book, which were also. And then it's when you buy the book, you go like, oh, this has got a decent bit of reading in it, and then the story's over way too soon, and you go like. Oh,
what do you have?
Oh no! Well,
you're fondling it now, so you better tell us the note.
Well, it's when Bête Noir's brother shows up. Guy Noir starts to throw a spanner in the works, trying to sabotage.
Guy Noir is an actual thing.
Is it?
There's a dude called Guy Noir in some fiction that
all references to people existing or fictional in this podcast are entirely.
Actually, maybe neither do I. Whoa. Okay. Well, we'll find out later. How exciting!
We need to bring our disclaimer person on stage here.
Yeah.
And read with a little exclamation mark above his head. It's like.
But so Betty Noir, whom gosh, I'd forgotten about Betty Noir.
Yes, she's only a bit character in the book.
Well, she's got this whole brother that shows up in the
third
book,
act,
apparently.
and he stops Donald from being able to get back onto his ship to go back to Earth to report on the great success that they were having here on the space Ukraine.
There is a third faction whom we haven't described yet, which is the geodesic rebels.
Well, yes, they're like vehemently against this whole concept of a donut because it's not made out of hexagons.
They're rival space architects.
They're kind of like
note for that as well. They're equally as motivated to have an independent space Ukraine and space Colorado and space Belgium, but they believe in a different direction. They believe that the sphere is of the devil and it is the triangle that is the divine, the Holy Trinity.
It's like Bauhaus versus Rococo.
Oh, very good. And I'm the one who went to a humanities college.
We can't have this. Like, we can't have successful donut domes. We have to make things out of small triangular panels with lots of ceilings. The Putty Masters Guild is...
The Putty Masters Guild?
Yes.
You don't have a note that says that, and you don't have any blank notes in front of you, nor a pen, so that can't be in the book. No! Oh shit, don't you dare! There is no Putty Masters. They can hear you writing it. They know it's fake. They know it wasn't in the book.
The new Putty Masters new Putty Masters Guild.
The new Putty Masters Guild. Yes. That's fine.
Because there was the old Putty Masters Guild was on Earth.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Nobody wants anything to do with that. It was settled in Peculiar, Colorado.
Yes.
I wonder, what are the odds that there is actually a town called Peculiar in Colorado?
About 50-50, I reckon.
Really, right?
I know. It seems like the kind of place that would actually exist. So because a geodesic dome would have to be built out of triangles, and it's going to have to fit it to a frame. And that's where you need the putty to make sure that all those individual glass triangular panels are airtight.
Joined up.
In my opinion, why the donut dome is far superior, because it's a one-piece thing.
But I suppose that goes for the hemisphere dome as well.
Well, yes.
And you get more volume.
True, but the donut dome is more aesthetically speaking. Plus you get the glass pool in the middle.
That is really neat, and you can do really fun things.
Yeah, you can have space rollerball games in there.
Dope.
It's like like they do in Alita.
Dope. Yes. The Motorball.
Exactly, Motorball. That's what they call it. Motorball.
That'd be so cool.
You can have that going around in the center. You could remelt it and blow a middle dome, so you would have a filled donut. A little donut with it would be more like a nipple at that point.
And we already had that on the Secrets of the Martian Moon.
Yes, it was episode 13, as we said. It was we did have that was very nipple focused. There's no nipples here.
There's no. If anything, it's all innies rather than outies. What are you looking at on the?
No, I'm trying to look at see if Donald has any nipples on his spacesuit, but I don't think there are any. This is drawn in the 50s. Was a very no-nipple era.
We're very nipple averse.
Okay, so I just noticed this. It's look at this spacesuit.
Yeah.
Because that thing coming over his shoulder is clearly a regulator for a scuba gear. So someone looked at
Oh my god, yes it is.
Completely missing the point that he's got his dome over his, so he can never put it in his mouth. The guy who drew this
unless it's like a Harkonnen heart plug.
It's on the wrong side for that.
The heart goes through the middle. It could be in one
of
the...
It's on this...
Okay, well, good for him. It's not a heart plug. What else he's got? He's got Mickey Mouse gloves. Why has he got gloves? Why aren't they just part of his suit?
It makes it easier to get in and out, I suppose.
I guess. I wish we were closer to the end of the book than we are, but your notes are empty, and I still have so many, and I've just got this thing where I think we should talk about all the things that happen in the book. We shouldn't just gloss over the ones that we maybe took notes about and then didn't mention. So,
well, we have the rival space architects, which are trying to. We haven't told
including like Regina Parsnip.
Right. Yes, Regina Parsip from the Mara Aqua Regina.
Ah, yeah, she's a native. That's right. She's a very young architect.
Yes.
Named for her place of birth.
That was despite parsnips not really being a lunar thing.
It's a family name.
You know, parsnips, they're kind of moon-colored, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and Leslie Flanagan of the geodesic terrorists rebels,
yes.
or whatever the fuck we said.
It's surprising how long the book manages to dwell on that last chapter of Donald still trying to come back to
before
Earth.
Finally read. No, I've got this.
Okay, bring it home.
Yeah. So it turns out that Donald this whole time has had his own agenda. Donald has not just been a bumbling passenger. He has not just been
a journalist
playing the sides off of each other in order to get the best story, but he's here with a particular mission because he knows that somewhere in these various seas, from Mara Neversink and gosh, what a bunch of Nimrod, and we had Mara, what's that? Pocahontas.
Mara Pocahontas and Mara Aqua Regina.
And he's been searching this whole time for Daphne Atticus,
the other member of the Ginger Club,
who is also a prisoner on the moon, whom he's there to liberate. Because as an alto singer, she is a living weapon in this civilization built around glass domes and geodesic environments. Like, they cannot have someone with that kind of power just walking around where she could just belt out a tune and bring their civilization to its knees.
I mean, the small domes she would like shatter on her own vocal power. The bigger ones she might need some mechanical amplification. But,
it just can't run the risk.
No, absolutely not. They need to be taken down by the space FBI and sequestered.
So this is where, anti-gravity and Chewborka, much in the style of the later Star Wars, come back when you least expect it, aiding our Donald.
Turning from foes into brothers in arms, like the enemy of your enemy.
I mean, some money changes hands.
Well, yes, but still, there's a lot of the enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Exactly, and as long as I pay him enough. But yes, he rescues his mother, Daphne Atticus.
And it was his sister. No, never mind.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, who's to say?
Yeah.
It's a rubbish book anyway.
Yes.
No. We're never against the books that we read. No, we are for the books that we read. We like them. We hope that, what's his name? Murray Leinster. Ooh, I think we made it through this book by the skin of our teeth.
It was a good book.
I thought it was a good book.
I enjoyed it. It was a thrilling read, especially that twist.
It had maybe
just when you think that you're done with it, then no, there's suddenly a surprise chapter.
Yeah, because it would have been actually probably much better if it ended sooner, and it didn't have that whole extra chapter that apparently you didn't read. That's probably a tip that we can give to our readers.
Well, let's just say that I probably read it the first time I read the book, but I forgot about it when I reread it before recording this episode. Let's go with that.
And shall we give it a rating then? Like, we've done a good moon number before, so what's a good we've done domes before. What's a good geodesic number?
3.
No, I've got it. 60.
60?
The original geodesic sphere in chemistry was named after R. Buckminster Fuller. Buckminsterfullerine. It was when, I forget who it was, had discovered that there was a molecule consisting of 60 carbon atoms. And how is that possible? And then he took just a little bit of LSD and realized that you can construct a 60-point carbon molecule in the form of a sphere as a geodesic lattice.
Yeah, okay.
Or no, it was the football. That's right. It's not. It wasn't just triangles.
No, footballs are made out of
hexagons and pentagons.
Yes, so I'll give it 5 out of 6 then.
Oh, nailed it! Excellent.
There we go.
A good geodesic number, 5 out of 6. Now, hey, speaking of reviews, this is something new. This week we got a letter from our rival literary critics. Now, this person, Mr. Shane Agnew, did not mention which publication he was with, but I mean, the fact that they're writing into us, I'm going to presume that they also have either their own podcast or
we're flattered alone that we're getting the readers right.
We are delighted. The world of literary review is steeped in rivalry and friendly vendettas, and we're more than happy to participate in that. So I believe that Mr. Shane Agnew took us to task over our review of Crabs, the Human Sacrifice, which I believe was episode 10 off the top of my head.
It was episode 10.
Oh my
Very
God.
good. 3 for 3. You're amazing. You're on a roll today.
I'm going for the podcast Remembering Your Episodes award, and you're going for the podcast Knocking Into Your Microphone award.
So, shush. We just have a new setup. I'm just getting used to it.
We're both still getting used to it. What does Mr. Agnew have to say? Because it's quite a substantial letter.
Allow me to read it. Dear sirs, as I sat down to my usual dinner of crabs at the Stag's Leap in Rugeley last Thursday, I was surprised and delighted to learn that you had turned your formidable intellect to a book by local Staffordshire hero Guy N. Smith. Specifically, you reviewed Crabs, the Human Sacrifice.
I think we should say it in the proper tone.
Crabs, the Human Sacrifice. Ooh, we went into the limiter there.
It'd be fun.
The sixth and arguably finest of Mrs. Smith's crustacean heptology.
I knew there had to be more.
Yes. Alas, my excitement turned to disappointment as I listened to your review.
Well, fuck you too, Mr. Agnew.
The Staffordshire countryside, particularly around Little Hayward and Brockton, is home to many freshwater volcanic lakes. It is from these lakes that my weekly meal of crabs is sourced, and they provide the presumed inspiration for Mr. Smith's works. I therefore feel I can correspond with some authority on the topic. Yeah, everybody's a critic these days. I commend you for immediately divining the key metaphorical purpose of the aggressive crabs, i.e. the damage wreaked by the human pubic louse.
Do they have pincers?
I mean, it feels like it, but I don't think they do.
Oh, I've never
not that I would
one
know,
up close.
but just
mentioned I shave. That's in canon.
Such a connection.
So,
well, that doesn't actually help. Apparently, at least not when you do it after the fact.
So far, so good.
Anyway, let's stick with the letter. This is like let's cut with the editorial.
There's quite a lot more letter, isn't there?
And we're about halfway. Well, but yeah, hang on. Such a connection is easy to make when the author has chosen such an obvious nom de plume.
Oh, no.
Guy N. Smith.
You say it.
Becoming Giant Smith, or a craftsman of the part of the lady where one is most likely to find our itchy friends. Good Lord. However, you have failed to consider the part played by the local environment. Staffordshire's famous bossomy hills and forbidden humid valleys, and of course, the way that the crabs dismember the gentlemen members of the citizenry. In short, in future, I would like you to more closely consider the phenomenon of vagina dentata.
No.
It is all I can think about on my afternoon walks. Yours sincerely, Shane Agnew, Slitting Mill, Staffordshire.
Well, we certainly appreciate one of our readers at home. All input is welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Agnew.
In Slitting Hill. Do you think that any of these are fictional? I mean, they sound like ridiculous place names, but in Staffordshire,
it's the UK. They have ridiculous names. I mean, assume you've read The Meaning of Live.
Oh, the nature book.
No.
It is by Douglas Adams.
It is partially, and his friend. I
was thinking of Last Chance to See.
It's a game they played when they were bored. It's like pick a name of a British town, an actually existing town, and make up a dictionary definition of what that name actually means.
Oh, that's clever.
Which have stebbing. It's like the unfortunate erection that you can't hide because your jacket isn't long enough to pull down off.
Well, Mr. Agnew, we appreciate your input.
It doesn't matter what they say as long as they're talking about us.
On which note, to our readers at home, if you enjoyed our works or didn't, either way is fine, or maybe you didn't listen, well, that's also fine, but you can get in touch with us at CoverMyAssCast on Twitter or Facebook, if that's your thing, CoverMyAssCast@gmail.com. We would absolutely love to hear from you if you feel so compelled, or maybe leave us a nice review somewhere, because we sure do appreciate your help. Now, Kay, what do we have in store for our readers at home next week?
Right, we will be reviewing that in my line of work, Indispensable Guide by Martin S. Kottmeyer.
What is your line of work?
The book is called An Alien Who's Who.
Think that about covers it. Thank you for listening to Cover My Ass, where baffling books are reviewed but not read by yours truly. My name is Khaki.
And I'm Kay. And remember, we only judge a book by its cover.
What is your line of work?
Undisclosed.